Hi, I want to start this video by asking you a question. Can you play the guitar? Now, if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that the answer is going to be yes. But stop and think about it for a second. If you answer yes, there's obviously some measure by which you consider you can play the guitar. You're able to achieve X, Y, and Z with it. And by that measure, you consider you can play. And there's obviously a point in the past when you definitely couldn't play the guitar. But at what point did you transition from not being able to play to being able to play? It's kind of a grey area, really, isn't it? There's not some sort of eureka moment where you go from not being able to play to being able to play. Now, you might think, well, I took lessons, and as I progressed through the lessons, I got better, and then I stopped taking lessons. That's the cut-off point. Well, thinking that you don't need lessons anymore isn't, I think, the cut-off point for being able to not play the guitar or play the guitar. A very good friend of mine is a musician. He's musical director for an internationally acclaimed band. He's toured the world many times, played on loads of records and highly regarded in the industry. Yet when he's at home, he gets a music lesson every month to help him just keep on top of his technique. And certainly I would consider he's somebody who can play his instrument. What I'm getting at is that wherever you are on your guitar playing career, from not being able to play to being the very best you could possibly be, there's all sorts of points in between. And at any point on that journey, you have some skills. And anywhere on that journey there are people who are also on their guitar playing journey who haven't progressed as far as you, and you have skills that you can pass on to them. Now, I'm not suggesting that you could suddenly become a guitar teacher. That's something that comes with time. You need to have a lot of experience as a player, as a music theorist as well, and experience being able to work with people and adapt your knowledge to be able to pass it on to them in the way that works best for them. But there's no reason why you can't pass on some of what you know to other guitarists. Now, I was at a guitar show back in the last year, and there was a quiet spell during the day, and I got talking to somebody who'd come over to see me between demos, and we got on talking about all sorts of things, and eventually stumbled onto the subject of music theory and so on. And this guy was fairly accomplished guitarist. He had been playing for years, had a band, playing in bars and pubs and clubs and that sort of thing. And he was saying, I feel a bit sort of underdeveloped because all I play is, all my solos is like minor pentatonic, minor blues scale, that sort of thing. And I said, well, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because minor pentatonic, minor blues scale, very versatile, very useful scales. And you've obviously done all right being able to play in a band for this long and, doing gigs and so on. And your solos obviously sound okay just using those scales, but there's a little thing you can do. And we had a couple of minutes. I said, here's an idea. If you play a minor pentatonic, let's say like a G minor pentatonic, I said, now you could probably play a lick that looks something like this. Just that 1, flat 3, 4, and then up to the 5th. And there's things you could do around that, maybe just put a double stop in by playing the flat 7th there as well. And he said, yeah, that's the sort of thing I've played before. And I said, well, why don't you, instead of playing the flat 7th there, play a 6th degree there, 1 semitone lower. He said, oh, that sounds good. Not a note that I'd normally play. I said, yeah, it's not in your minor pentatonic, but it's only one note away, and it's a nice little trick. Now suddenly you could combine it with that flat 7th. And he was quite taken with that idea. And he said, oh, no, good, I like that. I'll go away and I'll try that. Just an extra note there. And he went away, and the time it took me to show him that little trick, took no longer than it's taken me to relate the story to you. But in that short space of time, I was able to pass on a little trick to somebody that he's able to incorporate into his playing, and it'll inspire him and it'll help him to learn. So like I say, you don't need to, be a full-on music teacher and have all the skills and experience and expertise that a music teacher has. You don't need to have a load of curriculum and course notes that you would pass on to a student and being able to adapt that to the student's particular needs. If you've got some guitar knowledge, some musical knowledge that you can pass on, just little snippets, showing people your favourite licks, little tricks and techniques and so on, and it'll help them. I'm guessing that if you play the guitar, you enjoy, you have a lot of fun from it, because guitar's not an easy instrument to play. Your wrist's kind of bent back on itself, your fingers are pressing these hard wires down against the neck. When you first start playing it, it hurts, but we persevere at it, and we do so because we enjoy playing the guitar, and we enjoy it and it's fun. Even like the simplest things, I've been playing for years and years and years, but just something like a open A power chord like that, I think is just the most wonderful sound. But there was a time when I didn't know how to play an open A power chord, or I didn't know how to set my amp up to get a good overdrive sound. I learned that, somebody showed me how to play power chords. I remember when I was at school, there's another guy played the guitar, a bit more advanced than me, and he said one day showed me a power chord. I thought, oh, that's wonderful. And I've played power chords millions of times since then, but all on the back of one little 30 seconds or something, sitting during a break time jamming on a guitar with somebody. So I guess what I'm getting at is, no matter how experienced or inexperienced you are as a guitarist, if you can do something on a guitar, if you can play even a basic power chord, or you've got a favourite lick or whatever, you've got some knowledge, some expertise, some technique there that you can pass on to somebody else, and that'll help them to develop as a player, and it'll help to give them enjoyment out of the instrument, and hopefully it'll give you like a nice warm feeling of having been able to pass that on, share your knowledge, and help somebody to progress as a guitarist. So don't be shy about showing people things. Chances are somebody who's learning guitar, whether it's somebody in your peer group, or if you're a bit older, somebody that the kids are learning to play guitar. I'm not saying you become their guitar teacher. As I said before, being a good guitar teacher, it takes a lot of time to build up the coursework, the curriculum, being able to adapt that for every individual student and being able to work well with the student. But it doesn't take so much to be able to just pass on a few little tips or tricks. And if you do that, it will help help these other people. So my little mission for you for the coming weeks is, find somebody you can pass on a little bit of guitar knowledge to. Whether that's somebody that is learning the guitar, or a friend who's got a kid who's learning the guitar. If you can, spend a few minutes. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of time. I'm not saying like you become a full-fledged guitar teacher with curriculum that you adapt for every individual student and so on. Just a case of spending a couple of minutes showing somebody a new chord shape or a new lick or whatever, something that'll help them to progress and to grow as a guitarist. And I'm talking here not just about being outward looking, about who do you know socially, or what family do you have that might have someone who's learning guitar. But what about looking inwardly? If you're playing in a band, how much do you within the band support each other? Do you just you get together, you play your tunes, and then you go away and you practice and you learn on your own? There's a lot of bands grow organically because they're feeding off of each other, showing each other licks and techniques and little musical ideas. So do that as well. There's an upcoming PhatPhish featured artist I'm going to be showing you soon, and part of their philosophy is about just growing off of each other and finding each other's strengths and helping each other to develop within the band. And I think that's a fantastic mindset to have. So, bottom line, no matter where you are in your guitar playing journey, whether you're not much above a beginner or you've been playing for years and years and years, you've got something that you can pass on, and I'm sure you can find somebody who would benefit from, say, just being shown a new lick or a new technique or something like that. So do take the time. It's not a lot of time out of your life, and it'll be a huge benefit to somebody else. So do that, have fun, and see you in another video sometime soon. Bye for now.